Hello all, welcome back to Current Affairs Hit List series. I'm Guna Madhivanan from Offices IAS Academy. In today's video, we are going to discuss about fiscal policy. Particularly, we are going to discuss about pro-cyclical and counter-cyclical fiscal policy. First, what is this fiscal policy? So, fiscal policy is a policy of the government which deals with the revenue and expenditure. Say, for example, taxation, government's spending. Ultimately, through these policy, government will try to achieve some objective. So, put it simply, it is a policy of the government which deals with revenue and expenditure. Now, this fiscal policy is very important during the time of boom and recession. When the economy is expanding, we will experience boom situation, and when the economy is slowing down, falling, then we will head towards recession. So during these situations, the fiscal policy becomes very important. So what is this boom? What is this recession? Briefly, I will explain. So you would have heard about business cycle. You would have heard about business cycle. So let me take growth in the y-axis. Zero, 5%, 10%, 15%. Okay, so this graphs gives you an idea about the economic growth. So look at this phase. This phase where the economy is growing fastly. Economy is expanding fastly. So I am referring this phase as boom. The economy is expanding. Now look at the trend here. The economy, the growth is falling. The growth is falling. But still at any point, the growth is in positive side, but the trend is slowing down. So I'm calling this part as slowdown. Now look at this side, right? This part, the growth went to the negative side. The growth went to a negative side. So this phase, I am calling it as a recession. This phase I am calling it as recession. Now look at this phase. This phase, at any point the growth is in negative side, but when we look at the trend shows recovery. The trend shows recovery, and this is what we refer it as business cycles. We will find these alternative cycles in the economy. You will not have always growth. You will not have always fall. Right? So, but we have to, in the event of boom, in the event of recession, the government's fiscal policy becomes very important to have some economic, financial stability. So, particularly during the time of this boom and recession, the fiscal policy becomes very important. During that time, during recession and boom, we have government chooses a fiscal policy which can be classified into pro-cyclical fiscal policy and counter-cyclical fiscal policy. So fiscal policy, I am classifying it into two categories. One is the pro-cyclical fiscal policy and counter-cyclical fiscal policy, right? So two types I am writing it here, pro-cyclical and counter-cyclical. So what is the difference between these pro and counter-cyclical? That I will try to explain. So this pro-cyclical fiscal policy, this will be in tune, in line with the this policy will be in tune, in line with the economic trend. It will be in line with the business cycle. So how the cycle moves, in tune with that, the policy will move. Now what about counter-cyclical? So it will be against, it will go against the lines of, against the line of business cycle. So business cycle will move in one direction, the fiscal policy will go in opposite direction. That is called as counter cyclical. Pro cyclical means in what direction the economic trend moves on, in that direction fiscal policy will move on. That is called as pro cyclical. Let me further explain. So during boom, that is when the economy is expanding, what will be the policy? We'll try to understand. During recession, what will be the policy? We will try to understand. So here I'll write pro cyclical, here counter cyclical. So during boom situation, what will happen to the pro-cyclical policy? So pro-cyclical will go in line with the economic trend. If economy is growing, the pro-cyclical fiscal policy will try to make the economy grow further. So it will try to amplify. The situation. Okay. So when there is boom, economy is expanding. So what government will do? Government want to further expand. So government will increase the expenditure. If you take the government's expenditure, they will try to increase. They will spend more. Already economy is growing. We'll further expand the money supply to further make it grow. Similarly, the tax rate will be low. Why tax rate will be low? When tax rate is low, then more money in your hand, then you will spend more, then the economy will go further heights. Okay, this is called as pro-cyclical. During a boom situation, economy is growing, the fiscal policy will make it grow further. Already you are traveling at 100 kilometers per hour, the pro-cyclical will make you to travel at 120 kilometers per hour, right? If it is going to be recession, then in the pro-cyclical policy, what it will do? It will again go in line with the trend only. It will try to deepen. The recession. So in such situation, during recessionary situation means what? The economy is falling down. So what the pro-cyclical policy will do? Recession is making you to fall down. The pro-cyclical policy will make you further fall down. That is why it is called as pro. Right? From 100 kilometers per hour, you are slowing down. You are coming to 50 kilometers per hour. Now what pro-cyclical will do? It will further reduce the speed. It will make you to travel at 25 kilometers per hour. Right? So under recession, what will happen to the expenditure? The government expenditure will be reduced. Right? Tax rate will be increased. Why? Already recession, your policy should further pull it down. So already you are slowing down. When the expenditure is further reduced, when the money supply is further reduced, the economy will further fall. That is why expenditure is reduced and tax rate is also increased. What happens when tax rate increased? Money supply will come down. During recession, the money supply comes down, means the recession will further fall. Okay. So now coming to the counter-cyclical policy. So it will go against the economic trend. Okay. For example, during a boom situation, you will note down that government, the counter-cyclical fiscal policy will try to moderate the growth. So you are traveling at 100 kilometers per hour. If it is counter-cyclical, what will do? You are traveling at greater speed, slightly reduce the speed. 100 is too much, bring it down to 80, bring it down to 70, it will moderate. So you are growing at a greater pace. If it is counter-cyclical fiscal policy, economy is growing at greater pace, what the government will do? Through its counter-cyclical fiscal policy, it will try to slow down. Don't go this much fast. Try to slow down. It will moderate. So during the boom situation, the expenditure, government will reduce the expenditure. Similarly, government will increase the tax rate. Because economy, it is in boom, now it is counter-cyclical. Counter-cyclical means it will go against the economic trend. Economy is growing, so in counter-cyclical, government wants to reduce that growth. To reduce the growth, money supply has to be reduced, tax rate has to be increased. Right? Now, during recession, government will try to soften the recession. Government will try to soften the recession. So what government will do? Government is going to see how to soften. The economy is falling down. Economy is falling down. So government wants to reduce that fall. You are seeing a free fall in the economy. Government wants to stop it. Government wants to stop it. So recession is high because money supply is less. So if you want to come out of recession, money supply has to be expanded. So what government will do? Government will, with respect to expenditure, government will increase the money supply. Similarly, government will reduce the tax rate. Only then we can soften the recession. Recession is the growth is coming down. The growth is coming down. That has to be reduced. That has to be stopped. That has to be prevented. Right? Counter cyclical. It will go against. You are falling down. Counter cyclical means it will try to prevent you falling. It will try to lift you up. So during recession, if it is counter cyclical, the expenditure will be increased. The tax rate will be decreased. Right? So I hope you got some clarity on pro-cyclical and counter-cyclical. So usually if we take India, we will go for this counter-cyclical fiscal policy. But what we do is, we will try to have a hybrid model. We will try to have a sense of hybrid. Wherever required, we go for pro-cyclical. Wherever required, we'll go for counter-cyclical or a mix of both. But usually we will lean towards the counter-cyclical policies in situations. Right? So I hope you got some clarity about the topic. So economic survey will be presented this month. Budget will be presented on the first of February. So you will come across a lot of economic terms in newspapers. So that is why I am discussing a lot of economic terms in the last few videos. I'll be continuing to do that so that you are able to get a complete grasp of what is going to be given in the survey, budget, so that you are able to understand various news articles coming in the paper, right? And also while writing mains answers, kindly use these kind of terminologies. Only then you will be given more marks, okay? So in today's topic, I explained about fiscal policy. I also explained about what is this business cycle. Then I explained about pro-cyclical, counter-cyclical, and I have given a tabular column also to understand, which will be useful for solving prelims questions, and these terms understanding will be useful for writing mains answers as well. I hope the topic was useful. I will see you tomorrow with another interesting topic. Till then, bye. Take care.